Super Bowl TV ads. We'll find out which ones were hits and which were misses. That's coming up Monday on Live at 4.
And the Clydesdales are back.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of celebrities are not in the commercials this year.
I haven't seen a lot of the previews yet. Have you?
No, not like usual.
Yeah.
All right, so tune in on Monday. You've seen the promos that something new is coming to Channel 3, so you want to tune in for that. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the warmth. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. We have to talk a little bit more. So we're excited about what you're going to see starting Sunday right after the Super Bowl here on News 3.
So this is our last time.
You've probably seen the promos.
Corner of the newsroom, yeah. No, it's exciting. It's really very exciting.
So Eric Franke and Charlotte Leslie will be here after the Super Bowl on Sunday with the new News 3. We're ready now.
Mark.
We can leave.
Now you can go, Mark.
Have a good weekend. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, a lawsuit has been filed against a UW Health plastic surgeon. We will tell you why.
A Tennessee girl who was missing 2 weeks was found in Madison. How local law enforcement was involved in finding her.
And Foxconn is reversing what top officials said just a few days ago. We'll tell you what the latest plan is.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. A woman is filing a civil lawsuit against a UW Health transformation surgeon accusing him of medical malpractice.
She says a surgeon gave her breast implants that were larger than the ones she had asked for. News 3's Adam Duxter tells us more about the allegations the surgeon is facing and what UW Health is saying tonight. Adam?
Well, Eric and Susan, this lawsuit claims that Dr. John Sieber inappropriately treated a female patient over the course of several months, accusing him of medical negligence and sexual exploitation. The suit claims that Sieber purposefully inserted the wrong size breast implant into a female patient and then showed negligence in care after she experienced complications following her breast augmentation and tummy tuck surgery. Attorney Bob Gingras says this case is unlike any that he's covered before.
This is the first time that I have seen a case like this in my career, and I've been doing this for over 30 years. So it may have happened elsewhere in the country, but I'm not aware of it.
Now, this lawsuit alleges the same doctor has had issues in the past, and records show that in 2008, the New York State Medical Board launched an investigation into alleged inappropriate conduct with a married patient and actually went as far as to say those actions showed a moral unfitness to practice. The UW Health Transformations hired Sieber in 2011 while that case was still open, and in New York, an agreement was made that this license wouldn't be suspended had he had a chaperone in the room each time he visited a female patient. The lawsuit says UW Health implemented a chaperone policy for Sieber, and we have reached out to UW Health about this case, and they declined to comment on any ongoing litigation.
Adam Duxter in the newsroom. Adam, thank you.
Investigators are working to figure out how a missing 14-year-old girl from Madisonville, Tennessee, ended up here in Madison, Wisconsin.
She was reported missing more than 2 weeks ago before she was found last night. Our Madeline O'Neill tells us more about the investigation. Maddie?
The FBI tells us they're conducting interviews to determine how she made it here to Wisconsin and whether or not this was an abduction. The teen was last seen January 13th at her Tennessee home. Now, her adoptive father, Randall Pruitt, is being charged with rape. That came out yesterday, just hours before officials announced they found the girl in Madison. According to probable cause documents, 41-year-old Randall Pruitt's arrest stems from photos and videos taken on his cell phone.
I can't go into great detail on it. I can say that he was arrested and charged with rape. We don't believe at this time that he has any connections to her being a runaway or missing.
The Monroe County, Tennessee Sheriff says multiple charges may be filed against multiple people involved in this case. Now, the FBI isn't releasing more information right now, but the agency is thanking local organizations, including Madison Police and the Dane County Sheriff's Office, for their help in finding the teen. Sheriff Dane Mahoney praises the local, state, and federal collaboration that helped find 2 missing girls, including Jamie Kloss, earlier this year, safe here in Wisconsin.
Thanks, Madeline. And previously, News 3 named and showed the picture of the girl in this case as people were actively searching for her. We have now decided to remove her name from our reporting to try to minimize harm to the teen in this case.
And Fitchburg police need your help finding a missing mother and her 9-month-old daughter. It's been over a week since family members last had contact with 24-year-old Lachey Nicole Mitchell and her daughter, Serena. They were last seen around Greenway Cross, just south of the Beltline off Fish Hatchery Road. Mitchell's about 5'4", 120 pounds, shoulder-length hair. As of now, police do not suspect foul play.
Let's get a check on the weather now for the weekend. Dave Caulfield is back out on the weather patio. Dave?
I'm outside today for the first time in quite some time, Susan, because temperatures have finally allowed it. We're in the double digits above zero. No negatives to talk about, at least in front of our temperatures. That is still pretty chilly outside, but in Madison, we saw a lot of sunshine today. High temperatures in the mid-teens to some upper teens showing up closer to Janesville. That's where those temperatures are for the most part right now. 15 in Lone Rock, 14 in the Dells, and 10 in Platteville. Although we still do have a wind chill for many of us, it does feel like the single digits. But hey, if we're talking about an improvement with temperatures in the double digits above zero, you know we've been cold over the last few days, and hopefully we can leave that in our rear view mirror, and I think we will into this weekend with temperatures really getting mild. Doppler track has been quiet for much of the afternoon. I think it will remain that way, although we will see increasing clouds overnight, and temperatures will actually increase overnight through the teens and will be in the 20s by the time we get into tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about that mild weather on the way and what to expect for next week in your First Alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you. The city of Madison bracing for a major temperature swing this weekend. Flooding is a concern.
Mayor Paul Soglin held a joint news conference today with the head of the Streets Division, and our Keely Arthur was there. She joins us live downtown with the very latest. Keely?
Well, as Mayor Paul Soglin put it, we're going to go from the freezer to the swimming pool as this pile of snow and the rest of the white stuff here in Madison is expected to melt, going right into those drains. Flooding is certainly a concern. Now, the head of the Streets Division, Steve Schultz, says crews have spent the past few days removing as much ice and snow as possible. They're now switching their focus to flooding as 20,000 city drains are confronted with melting snow, ice, and rain starting tomorrow. Now, officials say all areas of the city are vulnerable, not just low-lying ones, as issues will arise anywhere drains are clogged. The overall message, be safe.
This is Madison, Wisconsin. I don't know how many people, as I was out earlier today, I saw in shorts. Okay, fine. But I make the same point I did at the beginning of this week. If you're going out, especially in the evening, try and go in pairs.
City engineering crews will be on hand 24/7 to assist with any flooding. Now, aside from not wanting you to wear shorts, Madison Mayor Paul Soglin says to make sure your drains are facing away from your home, and if you have sandbags up still from that August flooding, keep them put. Back to you.
Boy, the weather just keeps on coming. Crazy stuff. Thank you, Keely.
The UW-Madison Police Department and UW facilities responded to a water main break. This was at the chemistry building on campus earlier this afternoon. Officials have evacuated the building. They did contain the leak there. The building is now secure, but it will not be accessible over the weekend. Students should check with the UW website, wisc.edu. They'll list the new classroom locations there.
The American Red Cross is experiencing an increased shortage of blood and platelets after multiple snowstorms, freezing temperatures, and the government shutdown caused blood drive cancellations. The Red Cross is reissuing an emergency call for blood donors. More than 3,500 donations went uncollected in January because of the winter weather, and more than 900 donations were delayed due to the government shutdown. If you'd like to donate blood, visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
And the Madison School District has announced it will have classes next Friday. According to the district's Facebook page, students need a specified number of instructional minutes per year. Now, due to the schools closing for winter weather this week, students are short some minutes. So February 8th, which was originally scheduled to be a staff-only day, it'll now have students in classes that day. They are now continuing to explore all options to cover any additional missed instructional minutes.
Governor Tony Evers is asking tech company Foxconn for more transparency tonight.
The Taiwanese tech company announced plans to change course for the second time this week. Rose Schmidt joins us. She's live at the state capitol with a further explanation. Rose?
Yes, well, there has been a lot of confusion surrounding this deal, but today Foxconn says it does plan to follow through on its manufacturing plans. The question now being, will it follow through on job creation and other promises? Mixed messaging from tech company Foxconn has Governor Tony Evers calling for coherent messaging. This week, top-ranking Foxconn officials told Reuters it was too expensive for the company to make LCD screens in the U.S. But on Friday, they say they will anyway.
As the economy is apparently changing from their worldview, that they have to make some changes. That's understandable, but we have to make sure that the transparency is there, and that's something that we believe is so important and will continue to work on.
So what sealed the deal with Foxconn this time? President Trump, it seems. The president tweeted great news for Wisconsin after he spoke with the Foxconn chairman. Evers says he too spoke with top executives on Friday.
I'm comfortable that they're still committed to the state. They're committed to this Generation 6 technology. But that doesn't mean that we will continue to encourage them to be more transparent and consistent in their messaging.
The governor reaffirmed his mission to protect taxpayers and the environment, but it's unclear whether Foxconn will invest the benchmarks of $10 billion and create 13,000 jobs in Wisconsin. Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos and Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald released a statement today thanking President Trump for his commitment to Wisconsin workers and thanking Foxconn for investing in the state.
Rose Schmidt live at the Capitol tonight. Rose, thank you.
The UW Memorial Union is bringing back the decades-old Statue of Liberty tradition to Lake Mendota today, and tomorrow is part of the annual Winter Carnival. The tradition started as a prank in 1979 by alumni Leon Varjan and Jim Mallon. They promised they would bring the Statue of Liberty to Madison if they were elected to the Wisconsin Student Association. After the election, they brought a styrofoam Lady Liberty head, arm, and torch and put them out on the lake. The Statue of Liberty is available for viewing until 9 tonight and tomorrow from 9:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon.
After 17 seasons in the NFL, former Packer defensive end Julius Peppers has announced he's retiring. The 39-year-old played 3 seasons with the Green and Gold. During his time in Green Bay, Peppers recorded 104 tackles, 25 sacks, 8 forced fumbles, a couple interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. The future Hall of Famer will finish 4th all-time on the NFL sack list behind Bruce Smith, Reggie White, and Kevin Green. More to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, the president could be closer to declaring a national emergency over his border wall. We'll have the very latest from Washington.
And another Democrat is launching a bid for the White House in 2020. We'll have more on a presidential race that's already making history.
Now that we're coming out of the deep freeze, it's time for the Madison Camper and RV Show to start thinking about spring and summer down the road. I'm meteorologist Gary Canolti. I'll be doing the weather live from the Alliant Energy Center in just a few minutes.
Okay, Gary, and on Wall Street, mixed results to close the week. The Dow at more than 64. The NASDAQ lost 18. The S&P added 2.5. We'll be right back. This just into our newsroom. Fitchburg police say they have located a missing mother and her 9-month-old daughter. Police say 24-year-old Lachey Nicole Mitchell and her daughter Serena have been found safe. They had been missing for roughly 1 week. The clock is ticking for Congress and the president to reach a deal to avoid another government shutdown.
President Trump says there's a good chance he'll declare a national emergency to get funding for the southern border wall. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said there will be no money for the wall in a deal currently being negotiated by Congress. President Trump has repeatedly said the 17-member congressional committee working on the deal is wasting its time without wall funding. He says the main reason Democrats are blocking the funding is politics.
I think it's good politics for 2020 because they say maybe we can beat Trump.
We have very, very good people, Republicans and Democrats on the committee conference. Our staffs are working through this weekend. I'm going to stay around.
Congress and President Trump have until February 15th to reach a deal to avoid another partial government shutdown. The 2020 presidential election is still more than a year away, but the race to the White House is already heating up. 49-year-old New Jersey Senator Cory Booker announced he is running for president. The senator says he chose this day to announce because it is the first day of Black History Month. His platform is inclusion.
Not looking even to simplistically to beat Republicans. No, I'm looking to unite Americans in this race.
Senator Booker's announcement brings the total number of official candidates to 6. 3 others have formed exploratory committees, and more names could potentially be added to the list of 2020 presidential candidates, including former Vice President Joe Biden, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, and former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz.
2 days before the Rams and Patriots play in the Super Bowl, no matter who wins the big game, Sunday will be a win for the food and beverage industry. That's because the only day Americans eat more is on Thanksgiving. Nationwide, Domino's says it'll make 2 million pizzas, 4 million chicken wings. That's about 40% more than a normal Sunday. Americans buy enough tortilla chips for game day to stretch across the U.S. 2.5 times. And last year, football fans shelled out more than $38 million for various dips, including guacamole. That adds up to about 270 million avocados. That's enough to fill a football field end zone to end zone, piled 50 feet high. I wonder who does the math on these things. Many wash it down with a cold one, spending about $1.3 billion on beer. And if you want Super Bowl 53 coverage, of course, CBS is your place to turn. Super Bowl pregame programming starts at 10:30 Sunday morning. Susan will be up, and it'll take you all the way up to kickoff at 5:30 in the evening right here on WISC-TV 3.
Yesterday, we're in the deep freeze. Today, Gary Canulty is at the Camper and RV Show. Hi, Gary.
You know, we went from the coldest weather we've had in about 25 years. We're going to the biggest camper and RV show in the Midwest starting today and running through Saturday and Sunday as well. And I'll have more about that, the Midwest Camper and RV show here at the Alliant Energy Center. Good place to come in and stay warm and start thinking more about spring and summer if the temperature rise isn't enough for you. In fact, take a look at where our temperatures are going. You know, after being below zero, like to 20 to 30 degrees below zero, take a look where our temperatures are going for the next 7 days. I mean, they're going to be well above average. In fact, we're looking for temperature. Well, there's Doppler track first. There were a couple of flurries of wet around, but take a look at the high temperature trend. We should be in the lower 40s Sunday and perhaps the mid 40s on Monday, maybe close to 40 tomorrow before those temperatures start to fall back closer to normal, and then a brief cold snap at the end of next week. But it doesn't look like it'll be nearly as cold as we were looking at before. Otherwise, as we take a look at the live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, take a look at where our temperatures have gone for the almanac for today. Our high temperature, 14. That's still well below normal, but it feels so warm after starting out at -6 this morning. That was at midnight. Our temperatures just kept rising. And as we check out our current conditions, temperatures are still very cold for this time of year, but it feels so warm just because of the recent weather. 14 the current temperature. Wind chill right now is at 3 degrees above zero. Well, if we take a look at the snow depth across the Midwest and zoom into to our part of the Midwest, notice there's widespread snow cover, but look where the heaviest snow is. It's actually across southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. The area with the least amount of snow in the state is actually up around Hayward. So it's just the opposite from normal, but having that widespread snow cover has kept our temperatures cold. With winds coming out of the south, we're going to start melting some of that snow to our south. Low temperatures this morning, below zero statewide, but only around 10 to 15 below zero and single digits below zero compared to 20 to 30 degrees below zero like we've seen in recent days. And temperatures now are above zero. They're in the teens, so that is good news. But as we check out the weather track across the Midwest, we've got some clouds coming in from the northwest. There are a few flurries up in northern Minnesota. We'll probably see our skies turn mostly cloudy, and that will start the temperatures rising again later on tonight. So we probably won't fall much more than where we are now, and then those temperatures will rise. And notice the warm front to our south and to our west. Look at the difference in temperatures on our side of the front compared to the other side of the front. We're in the teens across Wisconsin, the upper Midwest. Temperatures are in the mid-50s as far north as South Dakota. Now, we're not going to get that warm thanks to the snow cover on the ground, but at least our temperatures will be a little more tolerable. And as we look at future track, you can see over the next couple of days, lots of clouds and some light precipitation, maybe a little drizzle, freezing drizzle perhaps tomorrow morning, but most of it will be in a liquid form because temperatures will be above freezing starting tomorrow afternoon and staying that way through probably on Monday night. So as we check out our forecast for tonight, look for skies to become mostly cloudy later on. Temperatures will probably drop to the middle teens this evening and then start rising overnight. For tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 39 degrees. Could be a little freezing drizzle in the morning, but otherwise we'll just see some areas of fog and some drizzle during the afternoon as temperatures climb well above normal. On future track, you can see how the temperatures really don't fall very much tonight. Then they start rising. By morning, we're in the low 20s. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s for tomorrow, and then we'll see just some rain chances off and on from tomorrow night into Sunday, and those temperatures are going to stay well above normal. High temperatures, upper 30s for tomorrow, and for Sunday, look for those high temperatures to be in the lower to middle 40s. Now, as we look at the 10-day forecast, you'll see temperatures will be warm through the weekend. They'll drop a little bit with a snow system midweek, and then some sunshine, temperatures a little bit closer to normal for the end of next week, but nothing that is bitterly cold. So if you're out and about, you really want to get out here to the Madison Midwest Camper and RV Show. This is at the Alliant Energy Center. Like always, we have campers and RVs set up literally from end to end, the entire length of the building here, about a mile's worth of campers and RVs if you stuck a tape measure on them. But for the most part, the attendance is fine here. People are coming in, which is great. You get a chance to find out about your campers and RVs as far as the times are concerned. We're open till 9 o'clock tonight, and admission is $9 for adults, but for today, seniors are only $4.50 for their admission, and children are for free with an adult. Tomorrow, the hours are from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and we will, on Sunday, Gilbert Brown will be here with a little presentation in the front of the auditorium. You can come in and actually see him and donate to his charity. But that will be on Sunday morning right here at the Alliant Energy Center. So you want to come in and think some warm thoughts and start working on spring and summer. This is the place to be.
Yeah, it's really a great show, and it does make you feel warmer just thinking about that.
And don't be alarmed if you're going through an RV out there and Gary pops out from behind one of them and cooks you something. He really likes checking out all those big RVs out there. All right, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you. Ahead at 5, heart disease, the #1 killer of women. The warning signs doctors want you to look out for. That's after a break. On this National Wear Red Day, the American Heart Association wants to raise awareness about cardiovascular disease in women.
Stella Escobedo has more.
And then Lime makes it great too.
Mika Leia has always lived a healthy lifestyle.
I was a cycle instructor. I was an athlete. I really didn't think it could happen to me.
But 8 years ago, the young mother's life quickly changed. It became harder to exercise, and she had some chest pains.
I found myself breathless, and I couldn't catch my breath, and then I threw up.
Turns out Mika, then just 33 years old, had a 98% blockage in her main artery and needed 3 stents. She had been experiencing symptoms for a year, but doctors blamed stress, even though she had family history of heart disease.
For women less than 55 years old, there's actually been an increase in the incidence of heart disease. We're seeing risk factors like high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, increasing the risk.
The American Heart Association warns that symptoms can be different for women. Instead of a typical crushing chest pain, there can be shortness of breath, jaw pain, nausea, vomiting, even back pain. Dr. Suzanne Steinbaum at Mount Sinai Hospital says it's critical to know your risk factors.
A woman's entire life is really what increases her risk, so we can go back to pregnancy and see preeclampsia or high blood pressure, gestational diabetes, or even high sugars.
Mika, now 41, has needed additional procedures and stents to keep her arteries open. She works with the American Heart Association to educate women.
I think as women, we have that little voice inside of our head, but we don't listen to it.
She continues to eat right, work out, and manage her stress. Stella Escobedo, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And stay with us. We'll be right back. So this is our last 5 o'clock. Should we start taking this thing apart here?
Yes.
Well, you enjoy your weekend. You got 2 days off. I'll be back on Sunday
For the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl, and show off our new home here. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 at 6.
Have
CBS
a great
TV News is
weekend,
next.
everybody.